I cannot believe September is already over. I don't know where this month went, but it went by fast. And for half of the month, not even half, not like maybe 2 weeks, I didn't even read books. So it's a miracle that I read the amount of books that I read, especially because they're so big, some of them. I read 13 books, a total of 5,941 pages. So I'm going to go right into it. The first book I have right here is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This is book 1. Like, the second book literally just came out. Everybody was going crazy over it. I never paid attention to the series before, and I was like, oh, J. Kristoff, I love the Lumine series, so maybe I'll love this too. This book was something else. I had to read the audiobook for some parts because of the the audiobook was so helpful because of the annotation. So how it is in the audiobook, he just literally just reads them. As soon as there's an annotation, he reads it. So it was very easy to follow along with the audiobook. And it was a good book. I don't know why it's listed as a YA versus NA, but it's like the Sarah J. Maas series always gets talked about for being listed as YA and not NA. This should too, because literally from the very first chapter there is sex and violence all through this book. But I enjoyed it. It was it's very different than books out there right now. I liked it a lot. This cover is so freaking creepy. I did read this for a book club read, and I think it's gonna check off. Like I was saying in my last video, I was doing the autumn book bingo, so this checked off something in there, but I'm so confused about which book. I haven't got my bingo list together yet. It's a mess. So, but this book did check off one of those categories. Probably it's either going to check off creepy cover, or I don't know. I don't remember. I had a list somewhere, but I didn't bring it down here with me. Then this next book, I was going through my shelf yesterday for a book to read, for books to read for October, and then I saw this on my shelf, and I'm like, I need to get it off my shelf and give it to my niece because it's almost time for her to start reading these. This book was literally one of my favorite Goosebumps books ever when I was a kid, and I wanted to see if I would enjoy it as much as I did when I was little. Not as much, but still was pretty enjoyable, and it took me a long freaking time to read, at least a couple hours, because of the thing you have to turn the pages to read the whole freaking book and get to all the endings. It took a while to read, and I had fun. I was like a kid again. I love this book. Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. Literally, I read this book so many times. The book had fell apart when I was little. I got this book. I just bought it from, I think, Thrift Books. I got Nevernight. I think I got Nevernight from Book Outlet, but for some reason I have a copy with no little black dot. I've never had that before, but I'm pretty sure I got it from Book Outlet. Then I have Graceling by Kristen Cashore. This book was really good. I enjoyed the mess out of it. What was it about? So there's like there's like 7 kingdoms, I think, and some people have graces. So the main character has a grace, Katza, and she thinks she has the grace of killing, but her grace turns out to be something more. And the characters are good and interesting. The main character is super great character. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to read the other 2 books though, because I was hoping that it would be like a continuation of Katza's story, but it's like a prequel, and another book that goes years past for the other character in the book. So I might read Bitter Blue, but I don't think I'm going to read Red, and I actually own the book, so that's telling you something. I don't know. I might read it. Fire. It's called Fire, the second book, I think, and I own it somewhere, but I don't know if I want to read it. I got this from Thrift Books for a pretty good price. It's in a great condition. Yeah, I do recommend this book. I gave it like 5 stars, maybe 4 stars, 4.5 stars. I think I gave Nevernight like 4 stars because it took me so long to read. Next, I read Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I'm finally finished with the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I took so long to read it because I was enjoying it so much, but not so much. I loved Daughter of Smoke and Bone like times a million, But the last two books in the series, I didn't enjoy so much. I enjoyed this one way more than I enjoyed the second book, though. It was good. It was a really good series. I love Laini Taylor's writing. This is a freaking huge book. I feel like half of it could have been left out. No, I feel like it could have been a 4-part series because there was a lot of stuff in this book. I feel like there could be like another like a, what's it called? What are they called? Little books. Oh my god, total brain fart. The little books. I'll think of the word eventually. Novellas. I feel like there should be a novella for this series because I feel like there's some more to be told. I love it, and I got this from Book Outlet, and that was like 4 stars too, I think. Next we have Replica by Lauren Oliver. I've never read a Lauren Oliver book. I don't think I have. She has a lot of books out there, but I think this might be the first one I've ever read from her, and I loved it. It was so different because I did the thing where you read one chapter from one and then another chapter from the other one, and it was so fun like that. I can't. Ringer's coming out literally in a couple of days, so is that what it's called? Yeah, Ringer. I can't wait to read it. I love Replica. It was really good. I gave it about 4.5 stars. And I got this book from Target, or either Target, Amazon, or Barnes and Nobles. I don't know. But so this book is about a girl who's like, she grows up, she's super sick when she was little, and then there's another person who's like she's like not human, she's a replica, like, so she was made from somebody's DNA, from another person's DNA, so she's like a replica of somebody else, and you go and follow both of their point of views, and then they meet up, and it's so good, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next book. Time for some books I did not like this month. I'm going to end this video on a book that I love, my favorite book of the month, and I'm going to first talk about some books that I did not enjoy as much as I thought I would. First, I'm happy that I didn't trick the camera. Tower of Dawn. I did not dislike this book, but I felt like this should have stayed a novella. There was freaking this book should not have been almost 700 pages. Like, I loved the characters. I love the ending. I love some of the stuff that happened, but most of it I did not love until part 2 of the book. That's when it finally got interesting. For part 1, I was just like, I'm not going to finish this book. This is going to be the Sarah J. Maas book that I'm going to throw out the window. But it redeemed itself. It was good in the end. Definitely not my favorite book that she's ever written. This book is so freaking heavy. Yeah, I got this from Target, I think. Yeah. It should have stayed novella. 3-4 stars, I think. Next, Ever the Hunted. Oh my god. I read this in like a day because it's like no substance to this at all. It was a pretty not that great book. By Erin Summerhill. It's not that bad of a book. It was just, I just didn't like it at all. I probably wouldn't have read it if I didn't have, if this wasn't from Uppercase and had this little guide, this little cute little, I love their little bookmark things where you get to go and look up a page and all that kind of stuff and have information about it. That's probably the only reason I read it. I didn't like it. I definitely wouldn't be reading the sequel. It was boring, kinda. Just boring. I gave it like 2 stars. I just knew I was going to love this book, which made it so bad that I did not like it. Uprooted, and I read this for a year-thon. Did I read? Yeah. This is, yeah. I read this for a year-thon. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I heard so much good things about it. I kept getting recommended it, and I did not like this book. I didn't even tab this book. That's how much I didn't like this book. I also had to listen to the audiobooks. I was not going to read this book on my own. I had to listen to the audio to follow along with it because it just was not for me. Like, the characters were awful. Like, the main love interest guy, he was awful. And then the other characters were one-dimensional. The main character, she was okay. That was about it. That was the only character I liked. I liked her a little bit. They were very one-dimensional and just like blah. And I think it's supposed to be a retelling. Does anybody know what it's a retelling of? Because I couldn't tell. Was it Beauty and the Beast? I don't know. Departure by A.G. Riddle. I also read this for a year-thon. I'm so thankful for a year-thon because these books I would never read if it wasn't for a year-thon. Because I read it. I would not have picked them up off my shelf. I got this from Bookcase Club. It was about... so there's a plane crash. It's like Lost in book form. That's what it is. It's a plane crash and then weird stuff happens and there's like time travel and stuff. It's okay. I gave it like 2 or 3 stars. It's not, it was just wasn't my thing, but it was an okay book. I liked the plot. I liked where it was supposed to go, but I didn't like how it was delivered. It's interesting. An interesting book. Then I have Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. It's another uppercase book. It wasn't a bad book. It was good. 3 stars. Just a regular YA contemporary book. It's about this character wins the lottery and then just follows that aftermath of them winning the lottery. It's okay. It wasn't anything amazing, but it wasn't terrible. And the last book, which is my favorite book of the month, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Oh my god, this book. I had to literally stop reading this book, take a breath, pause, keep reading, start reading the book, take a breath, pause, and keep reading because it was so freaking good. It's so well written. It's so important. Penny, I wonder if you can hear my dog scratching in the background of this video. It's so well written. I have a whole book review on Goodreads about it, all my feelings, because every time I sit in front of the camera, I forget everything I want to say. But I'll link my Goodreads review of this book below. If you haven't read this book, read it. Everybody should read it. I'm literally going to recommend it to anybody, people who even don't read books, to read it. It was just that good. And that is all the books that I read in September. Thank you for watching. Thank God this video was under 15 minutes. Bye.